Hello, this is Javier with your business tip of the week. This week, earning more profit. There are a few numbers that you should know and always be aware of in your business when it comes to making profits. The first is how many potential customers you have. Keep a running total of the count of how many potential customers you have. For the purposes of this video, we'll use the time frame of a quarter. By potential customers, I'm talking about referrals, people you seriously engage in a sales call or sales conversations, as well as other serious contacts to whom you may sell a product. Secondly, know your rate of conversion. Divide the number of actual customers in a quarter by your total potential customers and come up with that percentage. For example, if you have 25 potential customers in a month and sell only to 10 of them, your rate is 10 divided by 25, or 40%. Based on this number, you can safely estimate goals for the following month. You can also estimate how many people you have to get in front of to make your goal. Third, how many transactions does the average customer make each quarter? My Uncle Wilbur had a fidget spinner store. He made the standard model fidget spinner and sold it for 6 months. He sold hundreds. A while later, he came up with a great idea and made them all in different shapes and sizes. He even made them with custom personalized boxes. The new ones were even more popular than the originals, but Wilbur didn't sell as many as he had hoped. He never bothered to keep his list of old clients and tell them about the new product, and they never learned about the new and improved models. Opportunity lost. Poor Uncle Wilbur. Repeat business increases your transactions per customer. One of the most underestimated and underutilized assets in your business is the email list of your current customers. You did a lot of work to gain a customer. Now that you have him or her, take advantage of all the hard work. A repeat customer is more likely to do business with you than a new one. Assuming you sold them a quality product with good customer service at a fair price, a familiarity and a comfort level now exists between yourself and your customer. Never abuse that relationship, but take advantage that it exists to increase your sales for new or improved items. The next factor you should be aware of is the average sale per transaction. Assuming you keep good accounting records, this should be a simple number and one that any competent business owner knows off the top of their head. Finally, the last piece of information you must know to increase your profit is your current profit margin. We spoke about this in prior business tip videos. Whether you're selling a product or service, you should always know what your time and/or product is worth. And you obviously know what you sold and the price for which it's sold. So pay attention now, there's a bit of math coming up. Here's how to find your profit margin. Take the total cost of an item or service you sold, divide it by what you charged for it, subtract from 100, and you have your profit margin. For instance, let's say you made a piece of furniture and it cost you $300 in labor and materials, and you sold it for $1,000. 300 divided by 1,000 is 30%. If you subtract 30 from 100, you get 70. Thus, your profit margin for that particular sale is 70%. So now that you have the numbers, here's a simple formula. There are many ways of looking at profit. I learned this particular formula from a book written by Brad Sugars, founder of Action Coach Business Coaching. Multiply your potential customers by your rate of conversion. This is your actual customers. Now take that number and multiply it by the average number of transactions, and multiply again by the average sale price. At this point, that result is your gross revenue. Multiply this times your profit margin, and you have your net revenue or your profit. Here's the cool thing about this particular way of looking at profit. There are 5 adjustable factors involved in getting to the end result, and it's nothing more than a simple multiplication. What this means is, if you raise any one of those numbers by, say, 10%, for instance, you'll make 10% more profit than you did in the last quarter. If you raise any one of those numbers by 25%, you'll make 25% more revenue. Pick any number, it's a simple multiplication. What's more, you can combine the different factors. An increase of 2% in one times 3% times 4% in the other, 2 times 3 times 4 is 24, so that's 24 times you will increase your profit. Again, simple multiplication. Here's a simple example. You have 30 customers, you sold to 50% of them. They each purchased 2 things costing $20 each, and each of those things cost you $2 for a profit margin of 90%. So 30 potential customers times 50% times 2 items times 20% times 90, the 5 factors, gives you $540 profit for the quarter. Take any one factor, say the average sale, and multiply by 10%. You raised your average price to $22 instead of $20. Your profit is now $594, or 10% more than $540. If instead you saw 33 customers instead of 30, an increase in 10% of your potential customers, same $594. What if instead you increased the profit margin by 10% to 99%, cutting your cost to 33 cents a piece? Same $594 profit. So now you have a choice to make to increase your profits. Which one of those 5 factors, or combination of which, is easiest to increase in order to increase your final profits? See more people to get more potential customers? Increase your conversion rate. A smile? A better sales pitch? Hire a good salesman? Increase the number of transactions per customer. Think of what additional items may go with what you're selling. Increase your average sale. Upsell. Why buy this pressboard garbage when for a little more you can get solid oak? Increase your profit margin. Raise your price or trim your costs. Some may be easier to work on than others. It may not be feasible to raise a price or cut your costs any more than you have, but it would be a simple matter to go out and meet more potential customers. Adjust one or a combination of these 5 important factors in your business in order to directly affect and increase your profit. This has been Javier Unzueta with Javi's Woodshop. Have a wonderful week. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.